welcome back again. Thanks for giving so much love to all the episodes before. I'm here with Akshata. So Akshata is a co-founder of Dopolgy. And a very good friend of mine. Have been, we wanted to do this episode for a long time, but then because of some problems, she shifted to Harvard, and then I was very busy and a lot of problems together. So today we are back again. Thanks, Akshata, for joining in.
Thank you so much, Lakshit. I'm really happy we are finally getting to do this, and I'm super excited as to what we have in store right now.
Yeah. So my first question to you is, can you just explain about what is Dopology and the motto behind and all the idea what is Dopology about?
Okay. Dopology is a brand that we created with the thought that it was born from our own inherent need to be more eco-friendly and green, and with an idea to bring this to a lot more people. When we started Dopology in 2018, being eco-friendly was more like a socialist thing where only the rich people could afford being eco-friendly. Every time you said choose green, it meant to spend a lot of money. So we wanted to change that thought because it's not true. Being green or being eco-friendly is just a mindset change that you do. And we started by inculcating our own habits. Like post coming back from Indonesia, we wanted to, we were very heartbroken to see our own city that was filled with a lot of plastic. There were lesser trees than when we had left. And coming back, we wanted to make that change. We wanted to make sure that people are more aware. Nature is something that we really need. It doesn't need us. We need to learn to coexist with it. So we thought, okay, we have to bring these products. We have to work a lot on awareness per se because these products are already there. There are green alternatives that has been there in India from a very long time. But we have slowly, because of westernization and all, we have sort of moved to disposable stuff, non-eco-friendly stuff. So that's how Dopology was born, with an inherent intent to get more people to turn green, to choose green alternatives, and also in more than one way to think about nature in every possible way that you can. So in this year we would be completing about 2 years, and it's been a tremendous journey. There's so much that we have learned. There are great people we have met, very interesting, curious people we have met, like yourself too. So there's so much that we have learned and grown with Dopology, and we're hoping that we can continue to bring impact, continue to influence people to turn green. So that's about Dopology.
Okay, so can you just given what are the products Dopology has, and what are the plans Dopology has to make an you guys have a plan to make a change in surrounding or the place we live in?
Sure. Currently, we have a range of products with us. We usually prefer, or an objective or the foundation that we have built Dopology on is to be a company that brings you recycled products or works with recycled materials, because we strongly believe that the lifespan of a material can be extended when you upcycle or recycle it. We don't really need virgin materials all the time. So currently there are two products that are very, very main to us, and we work with it. One is the pencils. So these pencils are made of newspaper. So instead of the regular wooden pencils, these pencils are made from newspaper and recycled paper. So we make regular 2B pencils, we make color pencils, we also make something called the seed pencils, which have sort of like seeds at the end of it. So after using it, the idea is that you plant and grow something off it. And apart from that, another major product for us is the seed paper. We work with seed paper a lot. Seed paper is a material that is made from waste cotton, waste paper, and seeds are sprinkled on it to make this paper. We are trying to bring this into the mainstream where you don't use virgin materials, but you use recycled materials that have a life even after that. So these seed paper, post using it, if you plant it, there'll be again plants that you would be growing out of it. So currently we are making wedding cards out of it. We have made calendars out of it. We also make Diwali and seasonal greeting cards from it. The most interesting part for us currently now is we are able to penetrate into markets and ask them to switch to these. So we have also made marathon bibs from it. We have also done event tags. Whenever there's events, there's a lot of tags and plastic that's being used. So we sort of have encouraged them to use seed paper tags, and also an upcycled lanyard that we talk about.
Okay.
And what we love about these seed paper is there is literally no waste. So whatever cuttings are there, we sort of make seed bombs from it. So these are used as return gifts for kids a lot. So again, it's the same basic idea. You plant it to grow something. With the current situation of of being stuck at home and being home quarantined due to the pandemic, it sort of has made all of us realize the importance of growing our own food. Because it's a very much needed thing. So these and all are like starters for you to understand and learn how to grow smaller plants before you go ahead and grow your entire part of it. Apart from that, we also work with recycled paper. India being the country we are full of family and friends and a lot of occasions to gift each other a lot. So this is money envelopes that we have made with an intent again that there is no virgin materials that is used. So whenever you give money, you can sort of give it in this, and this is easily compostable or just thrown away like that because it's made of recycling.
Okay.
So these are our main products currently, Lakshit. Apart from that, going again, that the second part of your question was what are we going to do in the future, and what are the things that we want to bring change in and work for. We want to bring in more products and made of recycled materials. So currently, because we're working a lot with wedding cards, and we have understood that people are really open to it, thanks to the Gen X, Gen Y and Gen Z actually, that is very open to newer things. So we're planning to work to bring different kinds of wedding cards to suit each of their tastes, and to make sure that there are more people who are using it. So our main motto in Dopology has always been that we don't want to be the only company that does, and we're not saying that there shouldn't be other competitors, there shouldn't be other people doing. We want a lot more people to start getting into this. So this, it cannot be one person who changes the world. It always has to be a lot of us coming together, including you, because you're making sure you're creating content and making sure a lot more people are becoming aware that there are greener alternatives and there are things that you can do for nature that wouldn't cost you much. Just it's a mindset change, and you're just choosing an alternative of it. Along with that, the another major thing that we're looking to work on is schools. So we want to actively get kids and everybody else to switch to these newspaper pencils or recycled paper pencils. So there is lesser deforestation just for the sake of pencils. Additionally, we believe that as kids we tend to learn a lot better than when we grow older, because we become very adamant with our own thoughts and we refuse to listen to anybody. So we hope that from a younger age we are able to inculcate those habits and somewhere influence and get into their curriculum also, where they're taught to think about nature, they're taught to be mindful of nature and all that. So that's the plan that we have currently.
Okay. So how do you think, do you think there is, do you think there is some pollution from your products, maybe a little bit, or there's total zero waste, no pollution happening?
Every manufacturing unit would have some sort of waste that would be generated. I wouldn't say there's no pollution at all, because there's water that we use for the production of pencils, which we reuse multiple times, but eventually it becomes non-reusable and we have to discard it. So that sort of pollution is there. And additionally, because there is lead also that we use, lead is not it's not a material that should be thrown away just like that as such. Especially during production, because we have a lot of minute of the lead. So in the pencil and everything, when it's used, that is quite okay. But when we are manufacturing it, right, we have to take care that these are discarded well. So there is some amount of pollution that's there, but comparatively it's way lesser. And we are also trying to optimize our entire processes to make sure that there's lesser and lesser pollution per se. See, if you it's just in the matter of waste. There is no air pollution that we do. There is no water pollution that we do as such. Because there's not a lot of things that we let out, but as I said, a small amount of water that we use and reuse, after a point of time we have to discard it into the sewage, and we sort of try to make sure that it's to the minimal and it's taken care of well.
Okay, so what I had a question was, what did you learn from the 2 years journey of Dopology?
That we have a lot to learn. There's never a stop to it. We cannot be adamantly saying this is what we are doing and this is what we're going to do for the next 10 years. We have to evolve, we have to learn. And it has also given us a lot of insight, and it warms our heart to see a lot of people being so encouraging of us and always being there rooting for us, even with the smallest things that we do. So that is something that we have learned, that community, building a community among your customers is very, very important. Don't just treat them as people who are going to buy your stuff and then that's about it, because there's always things that they can help you learn, they can help build your business. That's something we have strongly learned. Another part is where we learn more than learning. It's something that we have strongly done from the beginning. We have made sure that all our processes are legally right, all our GST and all our taxes are done well. Along with that, we encourage other businesses. We are never like, okay, she or he is doing the same thing, so I'm not going to talk about them. It never has been. There were times when we couldn't serve our customers due to ideological differences, or because we didn't have stock, we have still sent them to our so-called competitors are saying, because you have decided to choose green, we are not going to say no to you. If we can't do, somebody else will, and we are going to make sure that they will come to you. Another thing that we have strongly learned is to listen to our customers. We never worked with seed paper from the beginning. We were just into the newspaper and the recycled paper envelopes. And there's one particular customer who really badly wanted the seed paper cards, but the cost was not working out, and there were others who were costing a bomb, and she's not happy about it and all that. So that's how we started experimenting with seed paper. And though she was the first person who asked us, her name is Ranjita. We did her card. I think her card was the third one that we did. But it was because of her we started, and then we had a boom of a lot of people coming in. So far we have done about 12-15 cards, which equivalent to about 5,000 to 10,000 prints that we have done. And we are happy that at the end of it, they are also happy to have chosen green. So that's another learning for us, to always listen to our customers.
How tough has been the journey of Dopology?
Personally, it has been very difficult. Being a startup and an entrepreneur is a hard job. Especially, we do not come from a background of entrepreneurs. So we're mostly the middle class people who are very scared to even start anything, and they're scared that we're going to fail. So a cushion job, an AC front is a good thing to do than to start up on your own and go through the struggle. The first 6 months we did struggle a lot. We had a job, and then we're trying to do this. We have worked a lot of nights, a lot of sleepless nights for this. Eventually we have evolved and learned to even now I feel it is difficult for us, because the kind of marketing that we can do is not that much as compared to a bigger brands. We sort of rely on our own customers and a word of mouth and the little menial marketing budgets we have. So that has been the difficult part, but what has been the very enriching part for us is knowing that we're doing something for the environment. It's not just, we're trying to make money out of a business, but there's also a social cause that we are strongly working for. So at the end of the day, we're very happy and we sleep very well. So that's one thing that's really good about it.
How many newspapers are required to make one pencil?
So it depends on the size of the pencil, quite truly. So in one bigger sheet, we sort of make about 3 pencils max at times, because we big to maintain the thickness, or when we're looking at a specific thickness. But there are also pencils that we have made from A4 sheets, which come as a thinner one.
Okay.
So the, how many from a newspaper would usually depend on what's the kind of size we're looking at and what's the thickness we are looking at. But so far we have made about, we started manufacturing only about 6 to 8 months back. Before that, we were mostly into reselling of these pencils. So
Okay.
so far we have actually sold more than 50,000 pencils,
Okay.
and made about 20,000 pencils.
Okay.
What we love about manufacturing is it gives us this opportunity to test a lot of things.
Yeah.
So at times we have worked with our customers to get their A4 sheets and make pencils out of it. We're also trying it with books. Currently, for all the bibliophiles, for all the people who love to read.
Okay.
What if we can convert their old books that are withering away into pencils? So I'm sort of extending the life of that book also, and making sure they're not losing their favorite novels too.
Yeah, true.
So that's something we're experimenting with right now.
Okay, just give us some sustainable advices. How can we move towards making our planet from something to green?
The first thing that I always say is your mindset. That what matters a lot. Don't think that it's going to be a lot of work. It's good. We humans, right, before we even do anything, the first thing we think is, okay, it's going to be difficult, okay, it's going to be hard for me, okay, we're going to end up spending a lot of money. That mindset is what we need to let go of in the beginning.
Okay.
And after that, there's smaller changes that you can do. To begin with, you can be conscious of the water that you're using at your home, conscious of the electricity you're using at home, and eventually try to shift all the plastic materials that you have into alternatives. See, when you become green, it doesn't mean you throw away all the plastic that you have at home. Okay. That is a total wrong notion that a lot of people have.
Yeah.
You have to use the materials to the full extent and extend its life as much as possible before you throw it away.
Okay.
And buy green alternatives when it is time to buy. Okay. Like, for example, when you're shifting to a bamboo brush, shift once you're done using your plastic toothbrush to the extent that you can.
You can, yeah.
Right? So a couple of things that you can do is switch to a bamboo toothbrush. Toothbrush is something that we change every 3 months.
Yeah.
And the plastic toothbrush takes about 450 years to decompose, which is way more than probably our children and their children would live.
Yeah.
Right? That's a bad thing, right? When you think about it. And then say no to straws. I know that there's a lot of campaign that's being done, and people are shifting to, paper straws and everything. Yeah. Even that, we sort of recommend to not use. If you don't need it, don't take it.
So what can you just tell us about your background before Dopology? What were you doing, and how the idea of Dopology came to you?
I'm a marketing professional with over 8-9 years of experience, and my partner Rahul is from the sales background. He with again about 8-9 years of experience. We are mostly the creative guys. We love working with creative ideas, campaigns, marketing. Marketing is very, very intriguing for both of us, and that's something that we have worked with a lot of startups, bigger companies, and doing campaigns for them and all.
Okay.
That's something that we still love, and try to work on it in more ways than just Dopology.
Okay.
Because marketing is a very, very fun thing to do. You could possibly sell products that mean nothing to people with just campaigns. Okay. That's the beauty of it. That's how the storytelling and everything is that has come forward here. With Dopology, how this idea came in, I have been very adamantly wanting to be an entrepreneur from when I was 22 or 21, while I was in engineering, and I just knew that I had to become an entrepreneur. I didn't know in what and why and why I wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Okay.
I guess the idea of creating something was very exciting. The idea of being able to give jobs to people was very exciting.
Okay.
So that's something that I really wanted to. And once we came back, and this need to be green became very, very passionate. It was very passionate thing for me to make sure we're green in every way that we live. And it gave me a lot of happiness. So I was the one who said, okay, let's try things, and let's bring these products forward. Considering these newspaper pencils are in India since about 8 years, and bamboo toothbrushes also have been here for a really long time.
Okay.
So that's when we thought, okay, um, when we turned green, right? We realized that we didn't know the affordable options that's available.
Okay.
B, we didn't know the products that's there that would help us become green. So
Okay.
there was one day that we randomly sourced bamboo toothbrushes out of India Mart rather, and went to a flea market, and thought, okay, whatever we're thinking, if this goes well, and whatever we're thinking is true, that awareness and affordability is the reasons people are not becoming green, then we have a business. Then we have something going on.
Yeah.
And Touchwood, we literally didn't have a name. Dopology is a name that we came up very randomly to, and the night before that was the event, where we thought, okay, we have to make this being eco-friendly cool. So that was the dope thing that came. And I'm the nerd kind in us, where I study a lot. Probably that's why I was like, okay, it has to be like a continuous process, like an ecology, biology thing, where it becomes a study of being green, or this lifestyle of becoming green. And that's how Dopology was there. And quite literally, we wrote the Dopology thing on a piece of paper with sketch pens, and we were at that flea market, and we just had that paper board, and we had these bunch of bamboo toothbrushes, which were priced at 50 rupees per brush. Then it was priced at 300, the bamboo toothbrushes, when we had started, and not everybody could afford that.
Yeah.
We realized that you could get it at this price, but you have to buy it in bulk, which not everybody would.
Yeah.
And the awareness also was less.
Yeah.
So in that event, within 2 hours, we sort of sold out our entire brushes that we had, and that surprised us a lot.
Okay.
Say it took 2 hours, because it was a crowd that was not eco-conscious. It was a crowd that mostly believed in shopping a lot of clothes, but just having this conversation with us, changed their minds. And they sort of remembered their olden times when they would use the neem sticks, and how much they loved that and all that. And this was our turning point, which said, okay, we have to start Dopology, because there are people who want to become green, who will become green just by being aware.
Yeah.
And if we can do that, there's nothing like it. So that's how Dopology came by.
Okay, so how as in how is a brand who you'd spread awareness? How would you spread awareness to go green?
To be very frank, half of our work in Dopology is just awareness more than selling our products.
Okay.
Because it's something that we strongly believe is the need of the hour. There are people who want to go green, but they just don't know how to do it and where to go find it.
Okay.
So what we do, we leverage on social media, and we do it offline and online. There are two ways that we do awareness currently. On social media, we try to talk about a lot of things that you can do at home to go green. Maybe composting, maybe switching your face wash or face cream to just the things that are there in the kitchen, and segregation of the waste, and some of the things that you can make from the waste that's there at your home already. Even during this lockdown period, we wanted to make sure people are engaged, and also they are, it's a very difficult period for anybody, even mentally too, because there's a lot of frustration, there's a lot of anxiety that comes with it. So we are working very hard to make sure we try and keep people engaged, and we try to tell them that it's okay to, we are going to get through this, it's okay, let's just calm down and let's focus on ourselves.
Okay.
So if you look at our Instagram page right now, you will see things that were made from waste.
Okay.
So we have made picture boards, we have made wall decor that looks like Scrabble.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to teach people to do things from the waste that they have.
Okay.
Along with that, we're also doing a 20-day do it with us,
Mm-hmm.
where we talk to them about one thing to do every day with us,
Okay.
wherein you feel calmer, you're distracted, you're trying to do something, and you're thinking positive.
Mm-hmm.
So we're doing that. So social media is a major part of our awareness campaigns that we do, because we strongly believe environmental awareness should be there. Along with that, I have to make sure that we play a role in people being healthy physically and mentally too. When you're feeling good is when you that depression and that sad feelings that you'll be focusing on than anything else.
Yeah.
So we're trying to bring awareness from the root of it, where we sort of help you feel better, feel good,
Mm-hmm.
and then look at the nature and environment in a different way that you possibly haven't.
Yeah.
So we try to bring awareness to the root level of it. Another thing that we do is offline, where we do events.
Okay.
We do seed ball making events for kids. Through
Mm-hmm.
that opportunity, we talk to them about recycled materials and the amount of water that's consumed while making a paper, and how conscious they need to be while using it,
Yeah.
and not to overuse things. We also do events
Okay.
like flea markets and all. We don't go there with an intent to sell a lot. We go there with an intent to talk to a lot of people about going green, because
Okay.
that's an opportunity for us to even open up their minds to it.
Okay.
So if even if we are able to talk to them for 5 minutes, we are sure that they will go back and think about it, and there would be some changes that they would do in their
Yeah. Yeah.
lifestyle to become
Yeah.
more green. So that's the major part of awareness campaigns that we do.
Okay. So, what would be an advice to an person who wants to become a green entrepreneur?
Don't think that becoming a green entrepreneur or a social enterprise should mean that you're an NGO. You
Okay.
can make money here. There is money. It's like a regular business, but just that you're more conscious about environment and you're taking care of environment, which is a very good thing to do. So
Okay.
don't think that there's no money in it and that it has to be an NGO per se where you keep not getting anything but doing a lot of things. B, make sure that you're aware of things.
Okay.
So while working with environmental products or eco-friendly products or biodegradable products, knowing everything in detail is very important, because a lot of brands currently are greenwashing people,
Okay.
saying this is biodegradable, this is eco-friendly, but if you really see it, there'll be some amount of plastic in it. It will
Mhm.
not be biodegradable, it will not be compostable. So make sure you know what are the products that you're making and selling, and are they really eco-friendly and are they really biodegradable.
Mhm.
So two is make sure you have researched well and you know your thing, like we say, your shit, right? You
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
that you're not making up things just to make sales out of it.
Yeah.
Okay. And three is be very genuine. At times it will feel like you have to be doing things very overly.
Okay.
Like if you're being green, you have to use a lot of green colors, you have to use a lot of brown colors, earthy colors while you're doing marketing.
Mhm.
Don't stick your head to it, quite frankly, because every brand makes their own path.
Okay.
This is something we strongly believe in Dopology. We don't try to mimic anybody, or we don't try to do traditional things saying this is what would help us grow.
Uh-huh.
But be genuine, follow your own heart, and don't try to do things that is like a checklist. Okay, say brand A that is a multi-crore business now that does 1, 2, 3, 4. I
Okay.
have to do the 1, 2, 3, 4
Oh,
too.
yeah.
It doesn't work that way, especially because you're a green entrepreneur. The
Yeah.
things that the way you look at it and the way you do things has to have very conscious thing.
Yeah.
And four, do not get frustrated. There's a lot of work that you have to do on your own self to remain calm, because there would be a lot of people who will come and argue with you,
Okay.
saying, I don't have to be eco-friendly. Why should I be eco-friendly? What is this? There's a lot of guys, in spite of you giving logical reasons, they'll come and still tell you why they can't be or they shouldn't be eco-friendly. So keep calm and sort of work on it a lot. And two, don't try too hard. With some of the guys, it's very hard to convince them, no matter what you tell them. Even if
Yeah.
you give them a
Yeah.
scientific proof and show them that, okay, if they don't do this, this is what's going to happen to them, they'll still come back with some reason for not doing it. So
Yeah.
don't waste your lot of time and energies on convincing those guys. Let go of them. And the guys, the initial bunch of customers that you make and work with, make sure that you retain them.
Okay.
These guys are going to help you grow a lot on an unimaginable scale that even you wouldn't have thought.
Mm-hmm.
And by my personal experience with Dopology, do not pay for PR. If they come to you, please make sure that you give your details, and the newspapers will write about you.
Okay.
But at the same time, make sure they're writing the right things.
Okay.
Usually, what happens, one newspaper picks up and the other newspaper follows the story of the same.
Yeah.
Sometimes it evolves into something else. So
Mm-hmm.
make sure that whoever you're talking, you should be thankful that they want to write about you, but at the same time, make sure that they're writing the right details about you too.
Yeah.
So those are the things I would really advise the guys who are going to
Okay.
do
Yeah.
it.
So it almost brings us to the end of the episode. I just have last 5 questions for you. You can just answer them in one word or one sentence, or maybe if I'm interested, I'll let you go deeper into it. So,
Okay.
one major learning from your journey being eco-friendly.
Mindfulness, gratefulness.
Okay.
That's the
Best advice you ever received.
don't fight with any businesses, any other businesses.
Okay. And the worst one?
The worst one is do not, tell other people what you do. Always keep it a secret.
Okay.
Doesn't work.
Okay. um, an advice to your 18-year-old self.
Stay calm. You are going to fulfill your dream of being an entrepreneur. Stop irritating everybody about it.
Okay. And the last question, how are you spending your quarantine?
Quarantine has been on self-assessment and self-improvement because we're very anxious. Even we are people who are very anxious about our business and personal lives, how it will be after this.
Yeah.
So keeping calm, self-improvement. We're working out a lot to all of us have dreams of becoming fit and having a certain body type. So
Yeah.
we're leveraging on this time to work out a lot. So
Yeah.
that another thing we're doing is self-assessing our business as to the things we want to change
Mm-hmm.
and the new things that we want to do.
Okay.
So quarantine is giving us a lot of time to do the things that we thought we never had time for before because we
Yeah.
were constantly working on orders.
Yeah.
So that's how we're spending on quarantine and spending a lot of time with loved ones, like literally expressing ourselves and sharing moments that we never did. The last 2 years specifically with a business to run, we were running around too much. We didn't have time to even sit down and talk to anybody. But now we're just leveraging all this time to reconnect with all our friends and family.
Okay. And one more last question. How can the audience connect to you?
You can connect to us through Instagram, Dopolgy, Dopolgy, on Facebook too, or you could write to us on dopology@gmail.com. We would love to talk. We're always open to conversation. Anybody, if you have anything to talk, discuss, even argue about, we're open to it. So do ping us up. We would be very happy to connect with you.
Yeah, thank you very much for being Akshata. I know that was an amazing podcast about an amazing episode about green and being sustainable. Thank you very much for being here. I'm just grateful that you came and we're shooting an episode after a long time. We wanted to do it maybe 5 months back, but we are doing it today anyway. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Lakshit. We wish you really, good thoughts, good success, and a
Yeah.
lot of things that you're planning to do. We hope that you're able to do. And any help that you need and anything you need from us, know that we're there.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
you.